Hello, my name is Antonio Cortez, and today I will be presenting about the philosophy of education. So, who am I? Like I said, my name is Antonio Cortez. I'm a first-generation college student. I was born and raised in Santa Ana, California, and I am aspiring to become a high school math teacher. I chose this career I'm choosing this career because I think it is a great way to give back to my community, as well as being a role model to many students, especially since I want to work at a low-income school. I want to be a role model to students who perhaps do not have that in their lives. So what is the purpose of education? As teachers, it is vital that we separate schooling from education. And with education, it's more so having students be ready for society. So teaching students to be critical thinkers, have them create respectful and open-minded society in the future, as well as helping them with their human growth/development, and also preparing them for civic life or life after high school. So what are the roles of teachers and students? For the students, it's quite simple. Students are expected to respect the classroom environment, advocate for their needs. So if they know that they need a special accommodation, to ask for that. Obviously, as teachers, we should be able to provide that, and they should also come prepared to class. As a teacher, you should be able to provide instruction, and a key factor in this is to demonstrate knowledge of the subject. And also, a teacher should be aware of a student's needs. So, since society is a very diverse society, we have to consider that not each student is the same, and take that into account. And with that being said, we should be able to communicate well and also provide feedback so that our students and also peers and colleagues know what is expected. I plan on teaching high school mathematics. My preferred subject is Algebra 2, although I do know that my first couple years, or more so the first part of my career, I would just be pretty much given like the subject. I won't have that much of a choice, but I would prefer to be in Algebra 2, but I am willing to teach pretty much any subject when it comes to high school math. And pretty much my main objective with high school or teaching high school math would be to inspire more students to explore STEM. I know as a Latino growing up, I didn't have many people to push me to consider this field, and therefore I want to inspire the future generation into looking into STEM and seeing all the options that are available. I also want to have students become critical thinkers and problem solvers, just because math is the subject where that is most displayed. And I also just want to have students become active participants, just because I know growing up many people would say that math was a boring subject or math was too hard. So I want to kind of diminish, I guess, that stigma that there is around math, and help it create it as a more enjoyable subject. As I said earlier, I would like to teach at a low-income school. I did personally go to the Garden Grove Unified School District, and my high school was pretty low income, so I would like to give back to that type of community. So I did include like a picture of Garden Grove Unified as well as Santa Ana Unified, just because I think it's important to be able to give back to your community and be somewhat of a role model, especially since a lot of my peers and myself didn't have that growing up. And just like I said earlier, I would also like to teach at the high school level. So how do adolescents learn? As we know, adolescents are going through a period of cognitive growth. So we have to keep that in mind when designing curriculum as well as our personal lesson plans as teachers. And so we have to keep in mind that students have various learning styles. Some students are more visual learners, some students are more hands-on. And what I will try to create within my classroom is pretty much just an engaging environment, and that includes a lot of group work, interactive notes, and other things as well. I think group work in math is very key, just because math is a very collaborative subject, and interactive notes are a great way to help students stay on task and also have them relate to the material a little more. And with that being said, I would also like to include more applications to civic life, just because I know many people ask how is math going to help them in the future, or how this relate to their future life. So yeah, my teaching style, I guess I would try to focus for Algebra 2. Like I said earlier, I know my first years I will be pretty much handed a certain subject, and that's fine with me. I'm more than happy with just being able to teach whatever is thrown at me, and I think I will be capable of doing so. But with that being said, my teaching style, it'll have a lot of group work, a lot of interactive notes, and different diagrams, just because I know different students have different needs, and I need to be able to accommodate for that. And with that being said, I also have different applications that will be used, especially since society is evolving. There's more use of technology in the daily life, so I'll be keen to use that. Use Desmos, graphing calculators, things of that nature. And in terms of assessments, I'll do daily warm-ups just as a kind of a summary or summarization of what we learned the previous day, and also to prepare the students for what is to come, just because math is a subject that builds upon itself. And I'll also have weekly quizzes just to be able to monitor where the students are and how they're doing. And then like any math teacher, I'll have my unit exams just to make sure that the students are able to comprehend the material, as well as have them be able to display their what they have learned as well. These are my references, and thank you so much for listening to my presentation.